Okay, wonderful. So do you have a way to record this by chance or?
I do. I
Okay,
actually could use my other phone.
very
So
good.
I got. I apologize if my dogs start barking, but I
Oh,
tried to
no,
get them
it's
to
okay.
chill out with me in my room.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So, have you had a reading before or is this your first one?
I've had them before, but just small things, nothing
Okay.
big like this one. This one's
Okay, don't
actually
tell
going to be
me.
the biggest one.
Okay, don't tell me anything.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how I usually, obviously, we weren't connected on Facebook when we started this. I don't go to your profile or anything like that. I consider that cheating. So all I did was go off of your name and your profile picture. I like to look. I like to look at the eyes and kind of do a scan of what energy comes through, but I really just read off of your name. So as I just meditated, I've been kind of rushing around today, so hopefully this comes in strong. Um, I have a list of things that came through for you. So I have a whole page of what I've written down. It's actually 2 pages. You had a lot come through. Now, the best way I can explain this, we have a full hour. So what happens is I will just give you everything that came through. If it's not directly intended for you, don't shut down on me. Just we'll go through it because these are just the puzzle pieces, and then from there we'll go together and we'll put the puzzle together based on if you tell me this information's correct or if I have it lined up correctly. Because what I do is I read from all the energy around you, and you'll see me point this way, which is your mother's side. It's almost like bleachers, and then your father's side over here, bleachers. So I have to decipher what level. If I say like a father energy, it could be a grandfather. It could be like a stepfather that raised you, but I know it as father. So we kind of get into things like that to where I'll have to clarify. But then
Okay.
also, I did want to let you know I talk fast. I talk fast because I try to get you all the information I can for your money's worth and for that hour. So that's why I hope that people record it because I know I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a
And I
lot.
don't remember everything.
It
So,
is,
yeah.
it's stressful to try to like write or remember. So don't worry about all that. You have a recording. So I'm going to go ahead and just come in with what I've gotten, and we'll make sure that I'm pulling in the right energy because sometimes a lot of just stuff is up there and I have to make sure it's just for you. So, right off the bat, when I zoom in or tune in on your name, I'm getting like country, like streams. To me, that's my symbolism for like maybe you grew up in the country, you have a strong, like, background, where as a kid you were probably out playing, in a field with sticks, things of that sort. That's what tells me by that image that I get. Now, right after that, and this is where I kind of read the energy almost as a timeline for me, I have a very strong father energy coming in. So with that, I point up to country as well. So I feel like he was kind of very country in that sense as well. Is he passed over?
If yes,
Your
yes,
father?
no,
Okay.
it'd be grandfather.
Okay, so that's what exactly I think why I needed to tell you that earlier, because he's coming through, and I say father because I almost feel like he was such a strong influence in your life that it was like a father figure. And so
Yes.
that's where I don't really decipher the grandfather from father. To me, it was like he was your father. Okay, now I feel like there was like my head starts hurting when his energy comes in. So that tells me that when he passed, it had like something. I feel it here, like something in his head, but I almost feel like stroke as well. And we can go through and make sure that that's all correct. But does that make sense to you? So I know that we're
Uh,
reading. Okay, that
yeah,
is.
he had his. That's how he died.
He had a stroke.
He
Okay.
had a stroke.
Okay, so we are on the same page here. Okay, I just want to make sure that we're narrowing it down. But then right after that comes in gallbladder. Now, I feel like this is for you. Like, digestion issues, something maybe with your gallbladder? Because I kind
I've had mine taken out.
Okay, and so this is how Spirit's just letting you know that maybe I'm not a phony, that I'm just picking up on these things that let you know that, we can kind of trust each other and we're going to read together. So I definitely picked up, you're fine, I've got two of them myself.
I'm
So,
sorry.
no, don't be
They just,
sorry. No,
they're
that's your
little.
family. No, it's totally okay. So I did pick up the gallbladder with the digestion for you, but then next energy comes in is like I wrote, and this always gets me because I'm still trying to figure it out. I have boyfriend slash husband. Okay, so but with that, dad is telling me, and we'll say grandfather, dad, forgive me for, the verbiage, but he's not very fond of who this man is or was in your life, but it's only because he tells me he doesn't think anybody was good enough for you. So that's his take on the love interest that's in your life or was. And I keep feeling like was because I'm not sure about that yet. We'll get there. But also then comes in like drinking a lot, like alcohol. Okay, that comes right in after we're talking about this boyfriend husband. There comes the alcohol. And then now I have over here your mom's mom, so your grandmother. Okay, she's coming in. Now she's showing me. They'll usually show me what their proudest moments were in this life. They'll show me just a little bit of who they are before they start giving me anything else. But I see her as like a Southern belle. Like I see her as to the T. Like I mean, if anybody, she went to the etiquette classes. Like I mean, she taught you how to set one hand in your lap while you drank. She was very big on manners, being a lady. I see a lot of military around her though. I don't know if her parents, she was raised military, or if she was married to someone in the military.
Okay, so my grandfather that you just talked about was married to her. This is on my mother's side.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so he was an Army major and they traveled around the world.
Okay, so perfect. So that's where all the military.
Yes, she was from Louisville, Kentucky, and a Southern belle.
Oh, look, yeah, I'm getting chills. So as soon as we talk about, wow, okay, yeah, she's very strong. When I get my, on it moments, I just light up with chills. So she's definitely here in your reading, just like your grandfather. So they're together there. Okay. So then we go into your work, because I kind of like to give a little background on who wants to talk for you in your tribe. I call it your tribe because you got a lot of energy over there. I go over your health. I do like a health scan. I look at your love life. I look at your work, things of that sort. And then work came in next. And I feel like you're stable and you're happy with it, but you're not really challenged. That's kind of what came. It's just kind of like I feel like it's mundane for you. It's in and out, same thing. It's not like you get like excited about work. So that's the energy that comes through, and we'll verify that in a second. Now, all of a sudden, I hear the song from Elton John and George Michael, "Please Don't Let the Sun Come Down on Me." Does that make sense to you? Okay, because I'm just like, am I just thinking of random? But I mean, I get chills as I tell you this. So somebody's sending you this song, but now I have to tell you, as I'm doing that, right next comes in like a sun, a younger male energy, but it's showing the sun going down on him. Do you have a son?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like that to me just feels like it's some kind of addiction, some kind of he's losing hope. Something like the song says, like, don't let the sun come down on me. And I just feel like something's going on. And I'm getting a lot of chills when I say that. So I'm not sure if it's something that's going on or it's just maybe a depression. I'm trying to decipher, like, what that is. But it came in right after that song.
I think I know, but it's not, doesn't have to do with my son.
Okay, it could be a male energy, so let's hold on to that for 1 second, because right after
I know what that's all about.
You do, okay. It makes sense. Okay, I just want to make sure that it makes sense and you're not like, I have no idea what this lady's talking about.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, good. Good. I'm just the messenger, so just bear with me. This is so hard to do when I throw this out there and hope that it makes sense because I feel crazy. But then
Don't go crazy.
okay. So, but as we talk about like a sun figure or that song, Don't Let the Sun Come Down on Me, I started feeling drainage. To me, it felt like I was drowning. Like there was some kind of water, something happened to where somebody drowned. And right now, hold on, I want to cry. I'm getting a lot of feeling behind somebody that passed. They couldn't breathe because of fluid. Okay, that can be interpreted different ways of drowning. That can be the lungs filling up with fluid. It can be different things. But I just started like, like I couldn't swallow, and it was fluid. So then I go into, it pops back over to you, and I feel like you're shy at first. People would think that you were shy until you know them, and then you're really like the extroverted one in the group. It's just at first.
That's exactly me.
Okay, because at first you're just kind of quiet and stuff, but once you're in your group of your comfortable friends, you're like the lead. You're the center of attention there. Now, and this is weird because I don't usually ask myself questions when I'm reading, but I have here, why is she getting this reading? And this is where your dad, which we're saying grandfather, wants to apologize to you. Okay, that's something that's coming through in this reading that I feel like, why does she want to talk to me today? And that's what came in, was like that your dad needs to talk to you, and there's some kind of apology that he wants to make to you. We haven't gotten that far because I was kind of reading quickly, which I can go and tap in and we'll ask. But again, that comes in so quickly. The next thing I have is horses / animals, like farm life, like FFA. All that kind of comes into play. I don't know if it's just like to me, that's like country. I don't know. I just feel like there was maybe some kind of farm in your family at some point. If not, that's something maybe you enjoy doing when you have free time, is just to go out and like, maybe as a kid you used to like to ride horses. That is something that I would assume.
That is no.
Okay, and that's okay.
But my mother's family, they had property.
Okay.
In Georgia. So
okay.
It was like 10 acres, and I enjoyed being with animals and stuff. But horses and I probably never really made much connection.
Yeah, and and as I read, it's kind of like they give me images so that I know where I'm going with it. So it's not necessarily that you jumped on a horse, but it gives me that country feel. Like that's definitely, and it comes in after your grandfather, so it's again that country stuff. And to me, like that would be farm life, because I like living right next door to people. To me, like I start seeing FFA, I'm like, oh, this is somebody that would enjoy, the country or the open.
And I live on 2 acres now, but I think that influence
that
didn't bother me to live on acreage now.
Okay, because you kind of come.
I'm not really a country girl.
Okay, gotcha. But it's like in your family that it's probably through your line, there were farms involved. There was a lot of, and when I say your tribe, your energy, and you'll see that I start talking about your ancestors up the bleachers. So that's definitely, you come from a line of people that did farm, and there were horses and animals and like FFA type activities. Even though it's not you, it's very much in your ancestry line.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Okay, gotcha. Now, the next thing that I have is like high blood pressure. I feel like there's high blood pressure, possibly with you, but I feel like it's like a stress thing. If it's not, that's something that we might want to look into, just as, as we get older and stuff like that. I just feel like you might need to watch getting worked up and everything. We just don't want you to have any issues with blood pressure. And then from there, it shows me like a treadmill, like automatically like a treadmill, just to kind of like start, it's something with your heart health. It's a symbol for me to like start walking a little bit with your high blood pressure and stress that come into it with a treadmill. That tells me that Spirit's saying just to keep your heart healthy. Like, I don't feel like you are out of bad health or anything. And like, I don't feel like you're a smoker. I don't feel like that kind of stuff. It's just one of those things that, you know, it's general maintenance, I guess. Just, you know, walk a little bit, try to stay a little active, watch that blood pressure. And with that, I feel like salt. Be careful with the sodium intake, because that can mess with the blood pressure, and you know, then any extra stresses and stuff can just put strain there. And then the last thing that I had before I was ready to take your call was I have to ask, was there a pregnancy that was lost, or did you terminate one of any kind? I feel like at some point there's a sadness around children. Would that make sense to you?
No, not that I know of. I suspected a long time ago, like early 20s, but I never. It was gone before I even knew to take a test. But I always have suspected.
It
is.
It's
a possibility.
And it is. Because that comes through. I never read for those and it not be right. So if you suspected that, and that's why I specifically said like a loss of pregnancy first, because I do feel like you would have had a child, but that child is still around. So that's why that energy is coming through. So when you do go over to rest for a little bit, you're going to meet that child that you would have had, because it stayed in your tribe. So you did, you know.
It must have been like probably not even 3 or 4 weeks along.
Yeah.
But I always had that feeling.
Yes.
That this was supposed to have been a child, but
yes,
for whatever reason I didn't. It passed before I
right.
knew. Plus, I was like, I think 19 or 20.
Right.
So it would have been a big deal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, the babies pick us. And so with that, like, you know, Spirit knew that you weren't ready or whatever, and that was an experience for the child as well, is to kind of come but then go back very briefly, not stay here. So, but I just want you to know that that child is in your energy, whether it was 20 years ago, 35 years ago, whatever. You do have the lost pregnancy that is still with you, and you will reconnect with that energy.
I wondered that. That's really interesting. Over the years, like, was that or not? So
it was. Yes, and I do feel like it's a male energy, so I feel like it would have been a little boy. Okay, so that's definitely, you do have a baby boy on the other side, so you're more than welcome to talk to him. I know that there wasn't a big connection there or anything, but you can still, you know, just say, can't wait to meet you, because he's definitely still around you. He came through today, so he did want you to clear up that question, whether that was or not. So usually, this is the first part of my reading, and that's why I always say like an hour is good timing, because that's just what I came through before I ever talked to you, before anything. So then now is where we go through and we see that everything makes sense or it doesn't. We can elaborate on things, and then I'll open it up to see if anybody that you wanted to talk to that didn't come through, we can reach out to. So, that's kind of how the timing works. But you kind of, I saw you shake your head as we talked about the country and the streams. So growing up, I guess that would make sense to being on the property.
Yeah, but it also pertains to where I live now.
Okay.
So I don't know how much you want me to say to you.
We can talk now. Now that you already know that I'm not a phony and that I didn't make stuff up, now we actually open up and we talk.
Okay. Well, my husband did pass away about 18 months ago.
Okay.
He was relatively young. He was 43.
Okay.
And he had heart problems.
Okay.
And I found him.
Oh.
He was in our guest bedroom because he had been sick, and he didn't want to wake me up, so he stayed out there. But he had gone through a bunch of, like, he had a pacemaker, which was too young for that, and basically his heart just stopped. But I do know that he was extremely congested. So when you said that he felt like drowning, then
okay. Okay.
That was probably what that was about.
Okay, so
he was telling me that, you know, he couldn't breathe, and
Okay.
all that.
So that's not a son. That was your
That's my
husband.
husband.
Okay, got you. But I think maybe the son energy must have come in because he was so young. So,
Probably, I mean, he was 43, and I have to tell you, he drank way too much at the end. He was extremely depressed because
okay, that's the
because
depression.
of all the heart problems and issues that he had for a long time. It wasn't just he had congestive heart failure plus
Okay.
everything else that was going wrong. So
Okay.
he got very depressed.
Okay, so that would make sense where the drinking goes in with almost like the depression, because that song to me, is that where that song comes from?
No, he used to have a joke with that song that
He
used
did.
to sing. Yes, and he was a very funny guy.
Okay,
And
okay.
he used to sing, you know, don't let the sun and Elton John go down on me.
Oh my gosh, so okay. That's funny. My abs hurt. I
So
can't
it's
laugh.
really funny that you brought that up.
So that's
I was
him.
like, yeah, I know that song.
Okay, so that's him acknowledging that we're talking about him, because why I pulled that song out of nowhere, it's because he wanted you to know that. And so that's where the drinking comes over. And you'll see I drew an arrow to the drinking over to the don't let the sun come down on me. And for some reason when I pulled up young energy, so I said sun, so we just know that that was your husband, with the drainage and everything that went there. And we can talk to him in a minute if you'd like to. I'll tap into him.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. I just want to make sure that we go through everything. You did say that the gallbladder, you did have that removed. So I'm kind of doing a checklist of making sure that we go through everything. The boyfriend, husband. Now, your dad, did he meet your husband, and was he fond of him, or was he always kind of like you could?
My dad's still alive.
Okay.
And yes, he did meet him. Now, okay, so the second thing that happened, since we're talking freely now, my father-in-law lived with us for 14 years. The same year that my husband died, he died 5 months before.
Oh, wow.
And that was his dad.
Okay, got it. Because there's a lot of different levels going on. So, yeah, it gets a little hard to decipher.
But I didn't really hear much that brought him in.
Okay, and this is your father-in-law, which is your husband's dad, right? Okay.
Yes, but he was like a father figure to me as well. And he did grow up in Kingsville on a farm.
Okay, so yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong grandfather. Maybe I'm thinking, maybe it was father-in-law who's showing the horses.
Right.
He did actually talk about horses all the time because he used to mess with them on his farm.
Now, because right above that, I have, why are you getting this reading? Would he have something to apologize to you for? Did you take care of him?
I did.
So I think that's probably why, because right after comes in the horses, the land. So that's probably his energy coming through.
Maybe that's him, yeah.
And he wants to apologize, because I don't feel like you understood what that meant when we were generally talking.
Yeah.
So now that you're mentioning that the father-in-law and he was there, I think he really wants to apologize to you for putting that burden on you of taking care of him. Okay, so I think that he just feels bad, because I feel like he was a very manly man, and that he didn't want people to have to take care of him. Like, that was the worst thing for him.
That was him. I mean, he was the sweetest man.
He didn't want to
never
lose.
wanted to be a problem. He didn't want to be a problem.
He did not want to lose his masculinity, his manhood. Like, he wanted to be able to take the garbage out till the end of his days. He didn't want to see a woman taking out his trash or having to bathe him. That was very, very hard for him as a man. And so that's where he comes in, and he wants to apologize for that, especially because you guys had your own life going on. Your husband was already in bad health at this point. He passes away. Then your husband. So he's just like, I mean, he's very strongly like apologizing that you went through so much so quick because of them. So that's what that is. I can feel that now that we're putting the pieces together.
It makes a whole lot more sense, too.
Yes, for sure.
And that is something he would most definitely say to me, is that, I didn't want you to have to do all that. But at the end of the day,
you wanted to.
No matter what.
Yeah,
I
you
mean, they
wanted.
were family.
Yeah.
Family.
You wanted to be the one, if anybody, to make sure that they were taken care of, right?
Yes.
So in addition to the apology, I mean, he's just sending lots of love. Like, my stomach's hurting right now. I don't know what that's about. I'm getting a pain like right above. I don't know if you can see where I'm at right here. Right here. I'm getting a real strong pain, but as I'm trying to tell you from him, how did he pass?
Well, he had a lot of different issues all at once.
Anything in here, the lungs?
They told me he had a heart attack.
Okay, is that what I'm feeling like right in here is just like, I don't know, it's just a lot of pressure.
It was very sudden. He actually had the heart attack in my arms. I was trying to move him to a chair, and he just, like...
Did he say that his stomach hurt? Did he misconstrue it for thinking that maybe he had gas or indigestion? Or
he was extremely bloated.
Because I'm feeling like it's a lot of pressure, like right here, kind of like in my stomach, but I have to keep showing you this, so I feel like that's him letting me feel that it was kind of like, I'm bloated, what is this? But then, like, done. And so...
But it eventually led to just, everything just shut down, you know?
Yeah, I definitely...
It wasn't real sudden for him, but it kind of was. I don't know how to say that.
Right.
It was like we had a decline in health, and then all of a sudden he had, I had hospice, and I put him in hospice. And within 3 days he died.
Okay, because now I'm starting to get tingles up the back of my neck, which from that tells me that, like, it moved, and just kind of like...
Well, and I guess I'd like to tell him that I'm glad it was as quick as it was.
Right.
He wouldn't have wanted that to leave.
Yeah, and he's definitely saying that, he's grateful for the way that it happened. That he's already apologizing for the little bit of time that you had to take care of him. Like, he would not have wanted that to extend for months.
I knew that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're totally right on with that one. But yeah, I'm feeling like it was a lot of pressure here to where it was kind of like he would try to put it off as like it wasn't a big deal. It was just, oh, maybe I ate something, maybe something like that.
Oh, I know what it was. I know exactly what, I don't know why I didn't connect that. He got colitis really bad.
Is that what I'm feeling? Because I'm like, this really hurts.
In his gut.
Okay, because I don't feel good. Okay.
Yeah, it was a gut infection.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, because I was like, what is this?
That nearly killed him, but in the end, it really did kill him because even though he got past the infection,
Yeah, that's not fun. Because immediately I'm like, why does my stomach hurt while we're talking about him? So it's the colitis, and then it went on to okay, perfect, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. That does not feel good at all. So.
Well, I can tell you don't want that.
No, it doesn't feel...
for everybody involved.
Yeah, no, not at all. Gosh, bless his heart. I feel like there was embarrassment with that. There was, like, diapers, like, things of, like, where he's apologizing. Like, he's just he's very embarrassed about that. So, he's totally okay with it being as quick as it was, because he doesn't feel like anybody should have to live like that. So he's totally just saying thank you. He apologizes, for putting you through that, but just what an angel you are for what you dealt with him and his son. And he's apologizing for his son too, for the drinking. And he knows he was there. He just wants to leave it at that, he says. Okay. He's apologizing for him as well. We'll go on real quick to, since we have that, and how who would be the dad that wasn't the fondest, that was super protective of whoever you dated? Because I'm confused on who's who. So who were you? You had, like, you were the baby. Like, you were the one that, like, his joy. So who is this one that's like, nobody that dated her would have been good enough?
Well, the only one I could think of, even though I wasn't really close to him, was my dad's dad.
Okay, your grandfather.
Yeah, on my dad's side. But Opa, we called him Opa.
Okay.
But I would think we weren't super close, but I know that he adored me.
Right. Yes, and that's usually, yeah, I mean, it's not that, and he's just telling me because he's coming in and he wants to just talk about that. He's just like, I wasn't the fondest, but, I would have never really been happy with anyone she was with because she deserved the world. So that's his message. He doesn't give me a lot of love and affection kind of stuff. He's just like, nobody would have been good enough for her. So now, was there something going on with his eyes? Your grandfather on your dad's side, did he have some kind of like something? Usually when I feel something here in my eye, it's some kind of like an aneurysm, some kind of pressure in the head, like a stroke or something.
Well, that would have been my grandmother. She had an aneurysm.
Was that his wife?
His wife.
Okay, he's bringing in that energy then. He wants to talk about her because he's telling me to talk about the head, the stroke, okay, so now he's bringing in your grandmother. Okay, hold on one second.
Who I did adore.
Okay, so we know that this is the same people. Hold on one second. Now she's showing me like she's in the apron. She's like baking in the kitchen. She would have been like the all-American type, like just housewife. Is that true for her?
Yes, hang on just a second.
You're fine.
I'm sorry.
No, don't worry.
I'll answer you in a minute. Daughter.
Oh, yeah, no problem. We never get time, do we?
No, never.
I hear ya.
Okay.
So,
sorry.
No, it's okay. On that note, when I pull your grandmother in, she's showing me, and again, like they like to show me, I don't think this is the same. This is not the same grandmother that's the Southern Belle. This is a different grandmother, correct? With the stroke?
Yes.
But she's still showing me as well, where she's in an apron. Hold on. She's making me cough. Did she have any kind of like issues with hold on, for some reason I'm getting like something with the throat. I know that you're saying it's a stroke, but towards the end she wasn't a smoker or anything, was she?
Early in her life, but towards the end I don't think so.
Right. Okay.
Towards the end. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just feeling like a scratchy throat, like something of that sort just now. But she's showing me her being in an apron, like baking, like making sure that everybody's fed. Like she was just a joy to be around, as far as like looking up to her as being like almost like the one you'd always find in the kitchen. Making sure everybody was good. She's showing me that. Is that what she strived to be, or is that memories that you have of her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's actually for both. For both.
Both of them? Okay. And that could be the era as well. But for her, it seems like she took pride in that she just was trying to be the best wife that she could. And that, she always wanted to make sure that, he was fed. And that, anybody that was there had food. She wasn't the lazy type, I guess is the way I can say that. She wasn't just propped up watching TV all day. Like she made sure she was in there doing her, cooking, things of that sort. I feel like she kept her hands busy.
That maybe pertains more to my mom's side.
To the grandmother on your mom's? Okay. So then this one, but her hands are busy all the time. On your dad's mother, right? Yes, it would be your grandfather's wife. Did she keep her hands busy? Like, to me, I want to say like crocheting, sewing.
That is definitely my mother's side.
Okay, over here. So I'm getting them switched over. Okay. Her energy's like, she's just taking the whole room. She won't let me have a division. I'm trying to talk over here, but it's like, she's just like, keeps coming over and pulling it back. She's
Does she
making
want
me
to
laugh.
say something?
She's making me laugh. She's just like, this is about me right now. Okay, so anyway, we do know that your grandfather, okay, on your dad's side, his wife is there, your grandmother. She is sending love. She showed me the head. She's showing me that she's here. But obviously, we're going to go back over to your grandmother on your mom's side because she has a lot to say, okay? So let me mark your grandmother here. We've already talked about that. This is your, okay, and right, I was fixing right to go into your mom's mom. So maybe that's why my energy's getting messed up because I wrote her right underneath. So we've got mom's mom, Southern Belle, the military around her. She's the one that was like cooking all the time, really like, I mean, held the glue together, that kind of grandma, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she was a horrible cook, but yes, she tried.
But she still did it because she just thought that everybody needed her, right? Like she just had it in her mind that she just kept everybody alive. And that was just almost to a point where she was almost overbearing. Like just, wear your coat, do this, make sure, So that's what she's showing me is that's the way that she showed that she loved you guys and she cared. Whether it was good food or not, you were going to eat, damn it, is what she says. And that's her like attitude towards it is like, I took care of them, whether they liked it or not, like I did. And that was very important to her because I don't feel like that was just like her purpose. To her, that was her purpose, was her family. I don't really see her being the selfish type that was like, I'm going to go off with the girls and just go shopping and all that kind of stuff. I don't get that. I feel like her place was at home with everybody, and she just really took a lot of pride in that. Did they play cards?
Yes, all the time.
Okay, she's showing me like...
Especially when we came to visit, because they were out of state.
Okay.
That was one of the main things we did.
Yeah, because right now she's showing me like she wouldn't want to be out with like girlfriends and stuff. She would have been rather at home, like playing cards. And like I'm almost seeing that game like Bunko or something of that sort. It's like
yeah, Uno or Rummy.
Yeah, those kind of games like that. And so she's showing me the cards. She just really enjoyed just being with the family. So she's definitely bringing that in for you. Now, but then I feel like we go on to your work. What, the stable, happy with it? What is it that you do?
Real estate appraiser.
Okay. And so that's pretty much a pretty steady job. Like it doesn't get too wild. You do pretty much the same kind of thing all the time. Okay.
Yep.
Now, it's not as challenging, whereas I feel like you're super smart. Like, I mean, I would have pegged you for more of like an accountant, somebody that deals with numbers that...
that's what I do all day, though, is that. I deal
Oh,
with
you do?
all day.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you do deal with the numbers. You don't just go and appraise and hand it over. You actually are, okay, in it.
I do all the analysis and all that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do a lot of that. But yeah, after, I've done it for 15 years. So yeah, after a while it gets...
Yeah. So,
I mean,
for some reason now, I get the feeling of asking, like, what do you do for fun? Like, I mean, what do you do for yourself that gives you joy out of your monotonous work day?
I actually do quite a bit. I mean, I have tons and tons of friends.
You do crafts? Do you go do like those crafty type things? Like I'm seeing like painting with a twist, like stuff like that.
All that stuff in the past, but I think you grow out of it after a while.
After you've done it enough times, right?
Yeah.
But
there are times I can be crafty, and then other times that I that's not my go-to.
Right.
But
okay.
I like to spend time with my friends.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I just see you guys doing like group activities. Like I see like wine nights. I see, and so to me, I guess that's where that painting with the twist comes in. It's kind of like the girls get together, they paint stuff, they drink, they laugh, going dancing, going and watching, people watching, different things, like maybe learning how to do line dances. Like I'm just kind of seeing that you would be adventurous to do all these kind of things.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm social.
Okay, very good. Very good. I love to hear that because I don't feel like you're sitting at home crying lonely. You know, I really feel like you've lived the life of being married and everything like that, but you didn't just stop there. And so that's
No.
huge. That's amazing that you have your support group, your friends, you do things. So that's the biggest feat, and you've gotten over that. So that's amazing. But then also we went through that's so funny, the Elton John and then the extroverted with friends. We've already talked about why he wanted to talk to you, the colitis, all that, the animal farm life. The high blood pressure and sodium intake, we've talked about that. Just kind of be mindful there, because I feel like that's something your doctor would end up telling you is like, watch your salt. Usually, like, I can be pretty specific with whether it's salt, sugar, whatever it is, but for you, for some reason, I feel like you like the salty stuff. And would you say
Yeah,
so, or?
I guess one of the questions, I don't even know if it can be answered. I mean, I did have cancer
Uh-huh.
before all of the loss of everybody. And that's gone. I had a kidney removed with it. It was on the kidney, and I didn't have to do chemo or any of that stuff.
Oh, good.
And it's been 5 years, so it's
Oh, good.
well past.
Yes.
But I've had a lot of weight gain with this, and it's very difficult to get it off. And there's not a lot of answers
Right.
with what's wrong.
Are you on any kind of medication?
Now,
I feel like that's why maybe we have to talk about the salt, is because that will hold the water. So that's why I guess I don't feel like I need to go into sugar. I mean, I'm sure that you know, but cancer
Yeah.
feeds off of sugar. So
Yes.
you want to stay as far away from sugar as you can. The salt, though, is what retains the water, which will give you like the weight gain and all that. So maybe if you go to the doctor, you could ask them about a water pill. Or maybe you could try to detoxify naturally with like raw celery juice. I know it doesn't sound great. It's really not that bad if you put a little bit of like, what's the stuff? It's not honey. It's
Agave.
yes,
Something.
thank you. A little pinch of agave and drink like some celery juice. That will naturally start filtering out your kidneys and things like that since you've already had one removed. I feel like it's backed up. So you have to do something that's going to naturally flush you because that's where you're holding on.
Yeah, the whole asking about the medication to flush, they won't give that to me because I only have one.
Right. So that's why we have to go natural. So that would be where the
Yeah.
juicing would come in. Like the celery is really good for that. What else? Because that's like, I mean, that's your number one go-to. Or if you can get your hands on the natural aloe vera juice, you know, and take a drink of that every day and really just kind of do that, as well as some water with a teaspoon of baking soda. That will fix your alkaline levels to where you can naturally do these things that will, I bet, really help with the swelling and the weight gain, because I really do feel like it's water, and it's because your kidneys backed up because you only have one, of course.
Right.
So you just kind of have to make your own filter system, if you will, and so you can do that naturally with those things. Use lemon in your water, different things like that, and I think that would help. So we'll put that on there. So we want to watch that. And that's where the treadmill, I think that's why that popped up, is just to get moving around. Because when you start to flush that stuff, you're going to want to, it needs to get out, not just in your urine, but maybe through sweat. So any way that you can get this excess out would be, those are the only two ways I can think, sweat and urine. And you can't just urinate all day. You have a job, you know. So in the evenings, even if you bought like a treadmill and put it in front of your TV to kind of work up a little sweat every day, whether it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, that will also help to flush some of that stuff out. And then we've talked about the baby. Now, we have, it looks like about 10 minutes left. So, do you want to talk to your husband? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Would you just tell me his first name?
Martin.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. This is where it gets a little awkward because I have to get the message from him. So just hold on. I'm going to act like you're not here. Hold on one
Okay.
sec. Okay. He's giving me like bam, bam, bam. So I want to make sure that makes sense to you and that it's not because I have your husband written here, but then I have your father-in-law. So I want to make sure that which one I've got. Right off the bat, Conway Twitty comes in. Does that make sense to you for your husband? Would that have been a song? Would that have been anything that he would ever reference as Conway Twitty? Like rose-colored glasses, like something of that sort?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, we'll pin that to the side. Also, I feel like he bought you a ring. It's got clusters. He's showing me like a ring with not just one diamond, but like a clustered ring. I feel okay, so he's bringing that in. But then also I see glasses, but I feel like he wore glasses. Did he have glasses?
That's my father-in-law.
That's where, okay, see, that's why I wanted to ask you, who's coming in? So it's like they're both giving me, okay, so glasses go to your father-in-law. The ring comes from your husband. Who was into the Corvettes and the cars? That would have been like...
They were both kind of that.
Okay, so they're...
But mainly because Mark was into him because of his dad.
Okay, got it. So he's showing me like he loved the cars, like the classic cars. So he wanted me to...
David.
Okay.
That's my father-in-law.
The father-in-law. Okay, so... Oh, my chest. You just said father-in-law, and I'm like, ugh. What was his again? He was the colitis and all that, right? Okay, my chest is hurting though too. So, gosh. Whew. Your husband had the heart problems. They are just like ping-ponging me back and forth with their stuff. Okay, this is your husband. I feel like it is hurting like really bad right here. Okay. To the point that I almost can't catch my breath to talk. Hold on.
It's okay.
Okay.
You get a lot of chest pain.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's all I'm feeling right now. And, I mean, and it's creeping up and, like, I'm scared right now. Like, I feel like that I can, I get real, like, it's hard. Who liked the baseball?
Mark, he loved football. And
Okay.
he
I
was
see
into
sports. I saw sports, but then it went right into baseball. So I wasn't sure if that's something maybe he played as a kid, something that got him into sports. But I showed baseball right under sports. So that came up, but that's okay. That kind of still falls under the sports. But we'll kind of pin baseball. And we weren't real sure about Conway Twitty. But hold on. Let me see if he has specific.
I still think that's my father-in-law. All of that.
All of it? Okay. But the ring would be from your husband, right? You know the cluster ring that we're talking about? Okay, but everything else seems to go to your father-in-law. Okay, let's put it that way. I have to arrow stuff over because they're very energetic. I'm just trying to... It seems like your father-in-law more so than anybody in this whole reading besides your mom's mom, your grandmother. Like, they're very strong. But your husband... How long ago did he pass? It hasn't been, I mean, what, a few years?
About 18 months ago.
Okay, yeah, because this feels so like, I mean, I can't, this is new. Yeah, it's in like the last few years. It's definitely, you're saying 18 months? Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, it was very recent then. That's why this is so strong. Okay.
Probably.
I almost can't, like, talk right now. Okay, that's telling me that the reason why he doesn't have so much energy is he's still healing on the other side. That's why I'm feeling this so strong. Usually I ask them if they have a sign for you. Oh, goodness. Let me... He's showing me like a TV on at night. Do you fall asleep with the TV on?
Yes, it can be. Yes.
Because your husband's showing me like the TV being on at night. And he's kind of showing me that he knows this because he's with you and that you'll leave the TV on at night. And usually he wouldn't have done that. He would have turned the TV off, right?
He used to watch it a lot longer than me.
He
Actually,
did? Okay, so that's maybe just he's talking about the TV being on. Let me
Yeah.
see.
He watched a lot of TV.
Okay, but it's almost like because I'm asking him, what is your sign? What can you tell me for her? So maybe, I mean, do you think that you leave the TV on because it reminds you of him? Like, is that something that, like, would make sense that you don't even realize that, like, when that TV is on at night, it almost gives you a comfort, or he was in a different room?
I do turn it off, but us watching TV, I never had a TV in my room until I met him.
Okay, so he's kind of
the one who brought it.
Yeah, he's kind of just talking about the TV being something with you guys, and even with him being gone, it's like still a thing. Whether it's because you either like leave it on or like he would have left it on. So he's just referencing the TV because I'm kind of asking him, how do you communicate with her? And he shows me that TV. So let me see what else that he has besides that.
That's interesting because there's been a couple of times I've been watching shows.
Do they mess up or something?
I will pick shows, and it seems to pertain to how I'm feeling at the time.
Okay, and so that's how...
And I've thought a couple of times in the past, I wonder if Mark's trying to tell me something.
And yeah, anytime you get those kind of questions, you don't have to double guess yourself. If it pops in and you think it is. So that is your intuition making you think that. So don't backtrack and be like, nah, maybe not. It definitely is. And so I think that's why he wants to talk about the TV right now for your sign, is because you do double guess it, but you don't need to, because that is him at that time giving you those signs, okay, with the TV. But I want more from him. So let me see if he's going to give me something else for you. Because we know the TV is the thing. We know that he's given you feelings and signs through the television shows. But I want to see if there's something else like that I can give you that's super special. I'm just kind of seeing like decorating. Like, did you really like to decorate and just always like have nice, like, I feel like you've already maybe started decorating for Halloween. Have you started to put things up? And he's talking.
I just did it right before.
Okay. He's wanting me to be that precise that you know that he's talking about it, because he's like, tell her about the decorations and the Halloween decorations. So he's, okay, hold on. I'm getting like, oh, I want to cry now. He's definitely with you, and he's watching everything you do. Like, he's with you all the time. So if you ever feel like you're alone, you're not. It's as transparent as like a sheet right here. Like, he's right there. Like, if you were to ever feel something, it's him. If you were to get a whiff of his cologne, that's him. You know, he's sending you these little signs, but we have to be aware and we have to accept those and not shut down on them. And if you ever hear your name, like, he's telling me that he tries to whisper your name and he tries to get your attention.
I've heard it once.
He's telling me that he's saying, listen, woman. And he's saying it funny. He's like, you better listen to me. And so he definitely will try to get your attention that way. He is letting me know that he is still healing. That's why I'm having so much pain here. He's not totally like back to 100%, back to the pure light, if you will, where he's in great health. He's still in that incubation period to where he's getting healthier. So he's not as strong as he's going to be. So that means that, I mean, moving forward, you're going to hear him much more. As he starts to regain his energy is going to be stronger to communicate with you. So you're going to be hearing your name more. I wouldn't be surprised if he shuts your TV off. If he tells you that's enough, you know, or like, I don't like that show. Like, that's what he's telling me. Like, I will just shut it off. And so that's his way of like messing with you. He's like, she's going to know. And so he's just kind of, you know, recuperating is what he is. But your father-in-law is so strong, and he's there with him. We've got both sides of your grandparents. I mean, you've got a lot of people in your tribe is what I call it. So they're definitely, they all came in today. I don't know that there's anything we really couldn't understand.
No, I actually think there was quite a lot that was right on the money.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
You
So
know?
that's what I look for. That's why I circle things of maybe what we need to pin. And so, with that being said, what I offer with the reading and what you paid for was not only the hour that we just did, but this is a lot of information for you to take in today and for you to process. So, for the rest of the day, I would kind of take it easy and just kind of, just kind of process that you just talked to your husband. You just talked to your father-in-law. You received love, apologies. A lot of confirmations were made. So don't be surprised that if you go to bed tonight, you don't have some really awesome dreams. There may be some confusing dreams. But if you want to jot those down in the morning or in the next couple days, it may not be tonight, maybe tomorrow night. But if you get those, feel free to send them over to me and say, this is what I dreamt. What do you think of this? And we can go back and we can kind of connect the pieces too, to where you get even more out of your reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he first passed, the first couple of weeks, I had a dream of him coming to me on a basketball court.
Oh, wow.
He liked basketball. And he had no shirt on and no pacemaker.
He was in his healthy.
And he held his hands out and he said, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But I'm all right, and I gotta go. And he turned around and left, and I was like, no, love you, or...
Yeah, right. He was just like, he had to tell you.
But I figured, that was just his way of going, well, I'm okay.
Right. And I feel like he didn't have a lot of energy to spend right then. So it was as much as he could do just to tell you he was okay. So that's why I feel like as he gets better, that you're going to be getting a lot more clearer messages. He's going to be more playful. He's going to, come to you more. It's just, I'm still really feeling like this is new. So that means he's still healing.
Well, and he received lots of messages from the other side. So
okay.
He was very gifted.
Oh, good. So that's why
but
he's...
But it scared him, so he wouldn't be open to it.
Yep.
The only time he really got open to it is if he drank a little.
Right. Yep.
And then he really hated it. So, which is why I don't understand he drinks so much. But
yeah, it's really confusing. And, people don't understand that when you're going through a hard time, they call alcohol spirits for a reason, and it's because it's not who you are. You're inviting any kind of energies in when you change your mind with spirits or with alcohol, and dark things can come in. That's why people are always apologizing for their actions when they were drunk. It's not their higher self. And it's just kind of yucky stuff. So that's why it's very important when I do readings that people that have that are in mourning or anything like that don't use alcohol to try to find healing, because if anything, it's going to go the opposite way. And and I did it when I lost my mother, and so to be able to learn this gift afterwards has been such a blessing, because I went towards the light instead of staying in the alcohol and the darkness. So and that's where he's at. He's like coming to, if you will, and coming out of all that darkness and yuck that he was in, and plus healing. His soul is healing, if you will, and so he's definitely...
I think he needed some soul healing.
He did.
You could see it whittle away in about 3 years.
Yeah. And that's what he's doing right now, is he's just healing and getting back his, his authentic self. And that's why he's very adamant on letting you know that he's going to be messing with you. He's going to be making you laugh. Like, it's going to be the old him. It's not going to be the man that you had these last few years. He's getting better, and you're going to be able to talk to him, listen for your name. He's going to mess with you with the TV, all kinds of stuff like that. So he's definitely around. He's just doing his healing right now. But you got a lot of people around you. So yeah, you definitely got lots of love and guidance over there. So yeah, most definitely.
Try to tap into it.
Well, I have, if you want to send me your email address on my YouTube, I don't really advertise, as you know. You probably never heard of me because I just feel weird about advertising myself, because people get real judgmental with it. They think I'm into witchcraft.
and most people don't want to talk. Like, I have little gifts too, not near like what you have, and
well, you don't know.
It runs in the family.
Yeah,
so,
you might though. You definitely might. Like, we all have it. You know, it's who,
Yeah.
like your husband, it's how
What you
you
bring out.
it's how you
Yeah.
do it. It's what it is. Like, whereas I'm a medium that can feel, I can hear, see. Some people are, you know, they're on to touch. So really, like, if that's something that you're interested
That's
in,
my mother. My mother's a toucher.
yes, and like grows plants and like can just make things
Yes.
flourish.
Yeah,
Like,
she's a gardener.
see, there you go. And people don't understand that that's a healer. And so we all have different gifts. It's just finding out what it is. So I don't like to hear you say that not like me, because you could be way more gifted than I am. I've just tapped into mine and worked so hard on, like a muscle, to build it up. But I do have one little clip on my YouTube that I keep private just to give to people that I read for. And it's how I learned how to do this. Because I was in so much pain and I wanted to talk to my mom so bad that I went to some classes and she taught me how to ground myself, which is what I do when I meditate on the names. And I'd be happy to send that to you as part of this reading. And if you just want to practice that, you'd probably be amazed and see what you feel, and, like, you know, try it at different times of the day. And you would probably be surprised that he's going to tap right in and talk to you directly, you know, to where you don't need someone like me as a messenger. And then you might really start understanding what your gifts are. And then maybe, you know, that's something that your purpose is to help other people with it as well, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I'd
text
be
me
interested
that.
in that.
Yeah, text
Okay.
me your email address and I'll give you that link. And it's a few minutes long, but it shows me exactly how I do it without, you know, cutting it short. But yeah, it was really a pleasure to read for you. And
Thank you.
usually the only thing I ask is, because I don't advertise or anything, if you would maybe on my Facebook page just leave a review, so that way if there's anybody else curious, they can read current, you know, people that have
Okay.
used me. And I would so appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. I'll do
All
that for you.
righty. Well, thank
I
you for
really appreciate
spending
it.
this afternoon with me. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too.
Good.
Hopefully you can recover from this one with all the hearts.
I know. It exhausts me. I have to kind of
Yeah.
like go like decompress
Yeah.
now, but
Yeah.
it's worth it. It's worth it. So it really is a pleasure. But you have a beautiful family and your heart's just gold. So I look forward to talking to you after you have your dreams and check in and stuff. I'll check in with you in a couple days if I don't hear from you first.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Bye.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye. So that is a full reading. That's how I do it. You do have to ask questions sometimes. There's a lot of energy that comes through. As you can see, her father-in-law wanted to take the show. Her grandmother was very boisterous during this whole reading. So a lot of them, like, I mean, you can feel the pain was almost too much with the colitis, and then her husband's like heart attack. I can still feel very heavy from all that. I'm tired now. That's the only reason that I charge what I do, is because I'm having to shut off everything to pretty much take on that message, not only hearing, seeing, knowing, but you feel it. You cry for them. Like, it's so emotional. But it's so worth it as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed a behind the scenes look of how a reading is with me. So if you have any questions, let me know. I do group readings. They are a little bit different from this because you can just imagine like all the energy that may come through, but I'm happy to do them, and we can always break off into smaller groups. But I'd be happy to hear from you. Have a good one.